Hello my friends, colleagues and everyone else that follows my work or stumbles upon this video. I was asked to talk about hemochromatosis. Well, what is hemochromatosis? Increased levels of iron within the body. Now, this is fairly rare occurrence, and as just about any other disease, so-called disease, it's actually well, not really a symptom. It is not caused by what we think a permanent damage in the genetic signaling. Well, when doctors are referring to this problem, first, cure is not existent. So if there is too much iron in a body, which could be showing certain symptoms, it apparently, we can go through the list. You will have joint pains. Well, joint pain is generally caused by inflammation. You can have abdominal pain. Well, abdominal pain, this is a broad thing, usually caused by gas and indigestion. But also if liver has a problem, then liver can be painful chronically. So can any other organ, because they swell. If they swell, increased pressure, pain. Fatigue, well, fatigue, again, lack of energy. Diabetes, well, we know diabetes comes from a different side, not from the iron, but a lot of people that have problem with accumulation of iron also are diabetic. Loss of sex drive and loss of erection. Well, we know this is related with bad blood circulation. So is it iron? Blood circulation, pop up, all right? Impotence, well. Heart failure, heart problems. Well, we know it related to toxic blood, toxicity in general. Iron, liver failure, well, I have mentioned that already. And now skin, because of accumulation. If iron is being pushed away from the blood into peripheral tissue, it may accumulate underneath the skin, as most of the toxins do. Toxins, most of the stuff that the body wants to eliminate, but it cannot regulate, it is going to push them, shove them aside, push them under the tissue, away from circulation, where they can create least of problems, least of damage. We could be highly toxic on a cellular level and not have any health issues, because health problems come when blood becomes toxic, more than cell itself. So if changing of a color, your color of the skin changes, being more bronze-like or grayish, could be from this problem, but also could be from either slight inflammation going on in the skin caused by toxicity, or it can be actually poor lymphatic circulation that makes the skin turn bluish gray. So is iron causing this? Disputable. I'm just reading what doctors are being schooled on, what are the symptoms of increased iron levels in the body. Now, causes. Number one, genetic. You got this gene and that gene, and you got it from mother, and if you get it from mother and father, you are double screwed. So That's it. Your health is sealed. Well, so far what we know about genes, this doesn't jive. This is contrary to the truth. So yes, we can inherit a genetic misfiring, but it all depends on ambient. Because if you change the ambient, if you change the frequencies, you are going to change the expression of a gene. It doesn't matter how it started. You can change it, you can fix it. And basically here we stop on the genes because there is a special hormone that is controlling the absorption of iron. We know so far that things do not come in a body just because they end up in our digestion. Most of the stuff has to be transported in, and this goes for sugar from amino acids, this goes for fatty acids, this goes almost for everything. Minor mineral, it can be absorbed if it's in such a small particle that it can freely enter the cell. It can be transported through plasma, and this is what part of the healing protocol involves. But when we look at this, basically, we don't have anything specific that tells us that there is some problem, some disease that is causing accumulation of iron. And even the symptoms are not any specific. They're just general symptoms of toxicity. Now, risk factor, of course, are parents, ethnicity, because Northern Europeans are more likely to have this problem, for example, and then female will have less of this problem because they have menstrual cycles and they eliminate a lot of blood during this, and this way they regulate the amount of iron. So now if women can regulate it through menstruation, why can't men regulate it through cleansing organs? Should be able to cleanse it like anything else. Why are we getting toxic? Why is our blood getting toxic? We have 3 detox systems. Why is the blood getting toxic? Because it doesn't cleanse. Why? It's always the lack of plasma, lack of minerals and the water. So if you can cleanse properly, you don't even need menstrual cycle to cleanse. But doctors' response is, well, if you suffer from too much accumulation of iron, you should go regularly and donate blood. And this way, through hemoglobin, you release, expulse from the body most of the iron. Well, things are not the way we are being told. And again, here we have self-regulative system that will regulate the amount of iron and any heavy metal and expulse what is not necessary, but only if there is enough plasma, if the blood level is high enough. Why is majority of cases, it's either young, because it comes already from a sick parent, and comes with a toxic body that cannot detoxify, cannot regulate, cannot self-regulate. And then this is being now emphasized through medication that is being done. Pollute the body more, don't hydrate it, pollute it, so this way you are locking in the toxin. And when body cannot eliminate what it wants to eliminate, it shoves it away from circulation in peripheral tissue. And this is why subcutaneously and connective tissue is always extremely polluted. And this is why when you start drinking more plasma, then most of this toxin which is out of the peripheral, in a peripheral tissue, is being pushed in like a shaking a bottle. It's being pushed in back into the blood so it can be eliminated, and toxicity of blood rises. This is why when you start hydrating with plasma, very quickly, within 3 days, you go most of the time in diarrhea because your toxicity of blood increases as you are shaking the system down. Now, immediately it should be self-evident from how I have explained things that there is no disease when we are talking about high levels of iron. It is just inability of body to regulate it, and it cannot regulate it because there is not enough plasma. It uses plasma to regulate it. Similar thing happens with low plasma levels of iron or low iron. Recently, I still am helping a client that has this problem. Very low hemoglobin, low on iron. Now, where did the iron go? We absorb the iron. So, all of a sudden, iron is low in the blood, not enough red blood cells, not enough oxygenation. Symptoms, tiredness. So, shortness of breath. So, what happened here? It's the same scenario. Now the problem was not cleansing of surplus of iron, but what has happened that circumstances in the body are such that iron starts accumulate in a tissue or in particular organ because of the way it vibrates. It's pulled out of circulation. It is in the body, but it's not where it's supposed to be. Again, it all depends on the environment. So the client just went for regular blood check to see because she was feeling very tired. And right from the lab, she got called immediately to go to hospital and have blood transfusion. Why? Extremely low on hemoglobin, extremely low on iron. Okay? Life and death situation. You can faint. And instead of running to hospital to get transfusion, she contacted me. She was given by doctor, she went anyway, and she was given iron pill supplement to load on iron. And I have explained that this is not going to bring any change because problem is not that there is no iron, it's just not where it's supposed to be. And to fix it, we have to work on a frequency. We have to normalize the ambient of the body. We have to normalize the frequencies. So this way, genes react to them and they change the hormones, they change how the cell will operate and change the environment, and everything changes and everything becomes good again. But since this is a new science, she was skeptical. So she did the protocol, didn't take the pills, but already in third week of a protocol, she decided she has to have the blood check. She felt better, but she wanted to know. So she went back to doctor because in Europe you cannot go, and in most places, you cannot go to lab yourself. You have to be sent there by doctor. We are controlled up to Gazoo. And when she visited her doctor, doctor said, well, it's only 3 weeks. Are you drinking these supplements? She said, yeah. Doctor said, don't be discouraged because nothing may have happened yet because this needs time. Well, anyway, so she took the test and from 5 it went up to 7. 10 is okay. So she improved dramatically in 3 weeks of not taking any single iron, just by cleansing and fixing the inside environment of her body. The iron is there, it's just not in the right place. When we have too much iron, the symptoms I have mentioned, they are not symptoms of lack of iron or too much iron. They are symptoms of general toxicity. And even the color may not be a color because of the iron. It's just general toxicity. Now, if they find that there is more iron than necessary in a serum, again, this could be completely different story than what we think it is. It's just ambient. It's just what we created in our body by our response to the environment, which means through our emotions towards our experiences. Vibration, it's all vibration. And the food that we are eating, that we are poisoning ourselves because what we are eating is not food, it's basically toxic garbage. And it's being promoted as health food. And we are low on plasma because we are forbidden to eat salt. And most minerals come as salts. And all of them are in seawater. This is your ultimate medicine. So dilute it and drink it. And stop poisoning yourself. Check what you are eating that you should not be eating. Control your emotions. Being angry all the time, being in fear all the time, creates problems. Because remember, toxin is out of tune frequency, nothing more. Doesn't matter if it came from your own radiation from the brain, because of fear, because of anticipation, or it is caused by something you have been eating or drinking. Or you heard something and your mind gets berserk and you start manifesting your present situation. When we talk about healing, we have to take all parameters in consideration, and this we cannot do if we ignore emotions. Because just remember, everything is frequency. Emotion is just another expression of frequencies. So self-healer's protocol will here again resolve the problem. As it does with too much iron, it will do with not enough iron. Because it's not about too much and enough or too little, it is about frequency. How your body resonates. And this is easy to fix. But no supplements and no medication necessary, because by supplementing you are just making it worse. As you see from this example, that there was not enough iron. Iron starts coming up simply by cleansing and changing the inside environment of the body, changing the diet, getting away from carbohydrates, getting away from plant food, going back into original animal-based foods. And everything normalizes. So, I hope that this answered the question. And if any one of you have this problem, either too much iron or not enough iron, don't worry, do the protocol. Have faith. It proved to heal everything. Thank you for being here. Love you all.